what's up guys, Cameron here from Team Bacon Strips today with another video. In this video we're going to be talking about side decking for the new March format. I don't really want to waste too much time talking about the new format because unlike most formats, this format's pretty much already set in stone. We already pretty much know what's going to be the top meta decks. You know, as far as everything's set out so far, I don't really see anything from the new sets being a top meta deck. But you never know, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is surprising at times. But anyway, for the most part, let's go ahead and talk about what we know. Let's go ahead and get started. So, Cyber Dragon, this card needs to be side decked in pretty much every side deck now, if you're not main decking it, because I know a lot of people are actually starting to main deck it, you know, like stun variants of decks. Like, even, I've even seen, like, stun variants of wind-ups. So, anyway, you side deck this in against the wind-up matchup because you can, like, get over the Zen Mighty, basically by just going Cyber Dragon, contact with the Zen Mighty, the Cyber Dragon, go for Chimera Tech, and in most cases, wind-up decks will have, like, 3 Zen Mighties on the field at one time. So you can just go for the Cyber, contact with all the Zen Mighties, and then boom, you got yourself a 4,000 meter on the field. Also, you know, you can play this against the wind-up the Rabbit matchup, and you just get rid of their Zen main, their first turn Zen mains, or just any deck that runs Zen mains for that matter, which is like pretty much every deck. Then we got DD Crow. DD Crow is good against almost every deck now because they need graveyard setup. I know the wind-up loop, at some point Hunter's going to be in the graveyard, at which point you can just discard the DD Crow to get rid of the Hunter. You can also do this against the Dark Worlds and the Inzectors. You can get rid of their Hornet, which will really fuck up the Inzectors because they don't really have a good way of getting their Hornet back unless you know they're playing Tour God, in which case they can just go into Leviair. Also in the Dark World matchup, the only way they can really get back their Grappa, if you get rid of Grappa in the grave, is by, Trance Archfiend. But, you can play smarter on the Trance Archfiend, and, you clearly don't want to attack the Trance Archfiend if it's on the field, because, it gets its effect. But yeah, so DD Crow, it can stop plays, and plus people are going to be trying out 3 Call of the Hunter, so DD Crow can shut down that play. DD Crow, it can fuck stuff up. Alright, we got Thunder King. Thunder King, most people main deck this, but if you're not main decking it, you at least need to side deck it, because it can shut down big plays with like Xyzs and Synchros. You can also prevent your opponent from adding shit to their hand. I've actually seen this card sit on the field for about 3 turns against a Dark World deck, and they couldn't do anything because they couldn't search out with Snow, so they couldn't like add a Grappa to their hand and pop this. The most they could do is try and summon their Snow and run it over, but they can just outplay around that. So yeah, that's Thunder King. We got Rivalry of Warlords, sorry. This card right here really is solely just play against wind-ups because it'll prevent you from getting looped. So they summon the Hunter and they try to get their shit going with Zen Mighty and Shark and all that. You just go Rivalry of Warlords, they can only control 1 archetype, and it'll prevent you from getting hit with the loop. It's also good against any deck that runs several different archetypes. There's not really that many decks out there like that in this format, but it's good to have in the side deck for decks. Say if you're running something that gets really shit on by wind-ups, so run that. And we got Bottomless Trap Hole. You can pretty much side this in against any deck that runs like high attack beaters. So let's go ahead and target the Dark World matchup. Say they go for the Grappa, just chain the Bottomless, fuck up their Grappa for a turn. Next turn you can set up or go off, which that's recommended against the Dark World deck because you don't want to let them get too much advantage over you. You also can play this in the wind-up you can play this in the wind-up matchup too to get rid of their Hunter, Zen Mighty, shit like that. You can also play this in the Dino matchup because if they go Rabbit, banish the Rabbit to go get their Kabuzals or their Cybersauruses or whatever the shitty ass fuck they get. Play the Bottomless, and both of those monsters are going to be destroyed and removed. So Bottomless is actually a really excellent card to be side deck this format. We have Chain Disappearance. I don't really expect to see this get so much play. Mainly what this is good against is like Inzectors. I don't know if I'd side this in against wind-ups, but you could. You can, like Inzectors, Rabbit, you can side this in against Rabbit. So say they're setting up a Tour God play, trying to go for Leviair. They get out their other Tour God, at which point you can just go Chain Disappearance on the Tour God. Because you don't really want to play it on their first Tour God, because then they're just going to have 2 more left in the deck. Or say they go Tour God, get Sangan. You can play a Chain Disappearance on the Sangan so they won't get their search for their Rabbit or whatever. And then say you're playing against Inzectors and they'll say they summon the Dragonfly, you can Chain Disappearance to Dragonfly, or they summon a Hornet, you can Chain Disappearance to Hornet. And that'll really fuck them up for a play. But like I said, I don't really expect to see as much play. Like, you'd be better off side decking the DD Crows and the Chain Disappearance if you're that worried about like Hornet and Grappa. Or not, I don't know why I said Grappa, but if you're that worried about Hornet and shit like that. So then we got compulsory. Last card we're going to talk about. Compulsory is basically good for one thing and one thing only. Bouncing back Exceeds and bouncing back Synchros. Mainly Exceeds. So let's say your opponent goes first turn Zen mains. You can just bounce the Zen mains off the field, and you just minus your opponent right there. Also, it's also good for setting up plays in your deck. I can't really think of a situation for doing that. But a lot of people are main decking at least one copy of compulsory. But if you're not main decking that one copy, you at least need to be side decking two, as what I am doing. So this is pretty much your side deck cards for this format. I couldn't really think of any else to put in this. But if you can think of any more, feel free to put those in the comment section. I always appreciate that. As far as money goes, you're going to be spending your most money on the Thunder Kings. Other than that, everything is at least $1. I even paid $1 for their Cyber Dragon. I know the common ones are a little more expensive in general, but I went to a vendor and they had played Cyber Dragons and I bought it for $1 at the YCS. So try and find deals like that, but for the most part, your side deck cards are relatively cheap. I don't know if the Changes appearances have gone up in price or not, because I know the Changes appearances at one time were actually pretty expensive. But like the Rivalries, the Bottomless, the Compulsory, and the DD Crows, those are all relatively cheap cards to get a hold of. Yeah, guys, this has been a video, Team Megastrip, obviously, and thanks for watching.